Well, Computex 2021 is here, and it's in high gear, with AMD finishing up a list of huge announcements covering where their EPYC systems have come from and where they're going. Even more pro chips are on the way, but we're going to zero in right here with the important things that our gaming-centric audience is wanting to sink their teeth into. From FidelityFX super resolution to mobile gaming GPUs and on into the venerable APU lineup packing Zen 3 and, well, still Vega, but hey, let's jump right into it. Now, AMD's FidelityFX Super Resolution has been a long time coming, and it's exciting to hear that it's almost here. Just a little bit longer, and it looks like it's going to be really soon, so with support from 10 studios across various engines, and we'll hear even more about that on June 22nd, including what games and studios are supporting it, as well as starting to finally get a look at how it performs and looks. But for now, we do get a bit of a taste from what we can expect. So FidelityFX Super Resolution, or FSR for short, will be focused on performance, image quality, and broad support, meaning yes, everyone who has access to use it. So if you've got a GTX, RTX, or even an RX 5000 series GPU, then, well, you'll be good to go. Now, we were given a bit of insight into what we could expect for performance-wise and settings expectations, and there will be 4 levels of settings outside of the native resolution, of course. So we'll have ultra quality, quality, balanced, and performance. Now, the performance numbers given so far are with Godfall running EPYC settings with ray tracing enabled on an RTX 6800 XT at 4K, and shows on average the game delivers right around a 2x performance increase when running in quality mode and 150 FPS in performance mode over the 49 FPS with just plain native mode. Now, for now, we haven't had access to see or use FSR in action, so we'll have to see how this shakes out in the final gameplay image. But what about those running the GTX cards, you say? Well, we did get a taste of what to expect with the ever-popular GTX 1060 6GB in Godfall, with the game running at 1440p with the EPYC preset, and we see the card climb 41% in performance from 27 FPS up to 38 FPS, and that's nothing to sneeze at if you ask me. But a quick recap on this one would be the average of 2x faster versus native 4K, but here it shows in performance mode, whereas Godfall showed 2x at quality, so lots of testing to be done soon on that. But again, 4 quality settings, over 10 game studios and engines this year, with over 100 GPUs and CPUs being supported. So we might see some limitations, and I'm sure by June 22nd, those will be ironed out. Now, on to the mobile market that aims to take the heat to NVIDIA, and we'll quickly burn through these, well, fairly quickly, starting with the RX 6800M, powered by a 40 compute unit setup, making up 2,560 stream processors, with a game clock of 2300 MHz alongside 40 ray accelerators. Memory is pumping 12 GB of GDDR6 with a chunky 96 MB of Infinity Cache. They're aiming this one at a 1440p market, so expect to see it in some rather premium modeled notebooks. Next up is the RX 6700M with a cut-back 36 ray accelerator and 36 compute units for a total of 2,304 stream processors, but still rocking that 2300 MHz on the game clock. But we do see a reduction in the memory to 10 GB of GDDR6 memory and a slightly smaller 80 MB of Infinity Cache. Now, this one is still aimed at 1440p gamers, so expect it to stay in that premium gaming laptop segment, but it will probably be the more entry-level option. But for those budget mobile gamers, the RX 6600M will be powering those mobile 1080p targets with 28 ray accelerators and 28 compute units, totaling 1,792 stream processors at the game clock of 2177 MHz. This one does support 8 GB of GDDR6 and a modest 32 MB of Infinity Cache. They expect this one to handle most any game at 1080p with good settings and performance over the 60 FPS mark. Now, we're going to wrap things up with one of the more requested items over the past year or so, and that being the updated G-Class Ryzen with Radeon graphics processors. Now, we haven't seen a proper retail release of their G-Series class Ryzen parts since the Ryzen 3000 series, and well, it's quite frankly, it's about time because those were running Zen Plus. So what will we be getting? Well, we'll be getting the Ryzen 7 5700G and the Ryzen 5 5600G to fill in the space that would normally be expected to be filled by the non-X parts, so that's where they'll sit in the stack in both price and features. Now the Ryzen 7 5700G will be featuring Zen 3 cores at 8 cores and 16 threads with 20 megabytes of combined cache and 8 CUs based from the Vega architecture, but running at 2 GHz clock speeds and a 65 watt TDP. The Ryzen 5 5600G will be featuring Zen 3 cores as well, but will be cut down to 6 cores and 12 threads with a Vega 7 in place with clock speeds of 1.9 GHz and the same 65 watt TDP. Now I did get a clear answer on the PCIe lane, since in the past you got a deep cut in that department, making it a bit harder to upgrade, but here you'll get the full 16 lanes for the PCIe slots, 4 more for direct storage, and another 4 through the chipset. However, unlike the Zen 3 brethren that they already have out in the market, they will be limited to PCIe Gen 3. No big deal, but something to think about. They'll be available in the retail channel in August with a price tag of $359 for the Ryzen 7 5700G and $259 for the Ryzen 5 5600G. So you'll be getting a bit of a price break over the X parts, but you will be giving up some cash and that PCIe Gen 4 support. So you'll trade some cash for other cash. Okay, bad. Continue on. Well, there you have it, folks. AMD's Computex 2021 offering, and well, they're all looking quite positive. But I'd love to hear what you found most interesting or exciting down in the comment section below. And I want to thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you like what you've seen here and you like getting news daily, make sure you hit that subscribe button down there in the corner. And if you've missed out on news in the past and you want to catch those, check out one of these videos over here.